With your next bold prediction here, it involves an offense that we were talking about a little bit right now, with Antonio Brown leaving, vacating, having Juju move into the wide receiver one on this offense. Who's really the wide receiver two? And I think you have a take right here.
I absolutely have a take. I think it's going to be Donte Moncrief. He's going to really lock down that role. I think he's going to explode into the top 25 wide receivers because of it. And I'm thrilled at the price that you're currently getting this guy. And I'm nervous because I'm starting to see some reports of the rapport and Moncrief dominating early OTAs and things like that. I know his price is going to skyrocket, but right now he's going at 150 or so overall. And as long as that stays, I mean, I have him at 80. So right now I'm 70 spots higher than the ECR, which is just insane.
Yep.
But even if he stays around that, I'm gonna be all in on this guy. And the reason is, one, just a physical specimen, absolute monster, 6'2", 220, runs a 4.4, jumps at a 39.5 vertical. Both led the combine. When you have that type of gifts, you're always gonna have a limitless upside. But then you look at the fact that he's been really asked to make chicken salad out of chicken shit these last few years. He's had Blake fucking Bortles. I mean, has there been a worse quarterback in the league than Blake Bortles? Jacoby Brissett. I mean, but okay, and exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because when he had Andrew Luck, they've played 14 career games together. He caught 12 touchdowns in those 14 career games. So, I mean, he was an absolute scoring machine. You look at the physical skill set, a red zone body with leaping ability. When he's got a quarterback that can put the ball where he wants it, he's going to score touchdowns. Big Ben has always been able to put the ball where he wants it. This guy's going to score touchdowns. I'd be shocked if he scores any less than 8 touchdowns. I think he's going to go for double-digit touchdowns. And if he truly locks down, like, I am the clear-cut number 2. I like a lot of the guys around. I mean, James Washington had a couple flashes. I mean, there's a lot of good things about Donta Johnson coming out of camp right now, that he's been one of the standouts. Vance McDonald, maybe he takes a step. But to me, that's just such a wide-open collection of stuff. And I think a lot of people are lumping Moncrief into that as, like, it's a competition between all these guys. I think Moncrief's a clear step above these guys. I think the fact that Big Ben's already said, if I had to pick a standout, it's been Moncrief. I've been so impressed with how hard he's working. He's with our receiver coach after practice all day, every day, locking this offense down. He's a cerebral guy that is really just dedicated to being great and wanting to learn. So whenever he's had talent, again, 12 out of 14 games, he had touchdowns when he played with Andrew Luck. And you mentioned the vacated opportunity here. You got 240 targets from last year between Antonio Brown and the less legendary Jesse James, but that's 35% of their targets, 2,547% of their 2,547 air yards. That's almost 50% of their air yards are gone. You know Juju's going to get his share. He's going to get the heaviest share. I'm not arguing that he's going to get that taken from him, but the guest of honor seat here is a huge amount of aerial pie to be taken, and I really think Moncrief has that physical skill set that's a clear step above the rest of these guys. He's already showing up in camp. I just love all the upside this guy's bringing to the table, especially, again, the price, 150 overall right now. So you're telling me round 12?
He's going the 13th round right now. He's
13th round? Oh my good God.
For 57.
If he's going anywhere after round 10, I mean, after round 8, honestly, I really think, the clear-cut number 2, think about what we were drafting Martavis Bryant as just 2 to 3 seasons ago, for the fact that this was a physical freak as the clear number 2 in this offense. But that was Martavis Bryant with every single worry off the field that you could ever imagine about. Moncrief has that same exact physical skill set. Maybe hasn't dominated quite as much when on the field, but when he's had Andrew Luck, he's been pretty damn dominant. He has that same physical skill set without any of the off-field risk, without Antonio Brown there commanding targets. It's just one of those things that I don't think anybody's realizing how much upside is really packed into this, especially at the price.
And if you remember what he was doing with Cody Kessler and Blake Bortles, I mean, he was kind of a touchdown machine when he was getting the ball down the field, where he was scoring touchdowns. Yeah, for sure. I totally see it happening. I just think I have more confidence in Deontay Johnson and James Washington. Not more so Deontay Johnson than James Washington. I think James Washington might turn out to be a bust long term. I really like Deontay Johnson, though. I really think he's going to develop into that Antonio Brown role pretty nicely and pretty well, just because of his separation ability, where Donte Moncrief, the only thing that he can separate with is his speed and not necessarily his route running.
And his size, though, his leaping ability, you know?
So
he's open when he's not open type of guy. That's what his kind of calling card is.
But here's the thing, right? Ben is not a kind of quarterback to throw his guys open. He's the kind of quarterback that looks...
He can put it in the red zone especially. He can do that with AB, but we really haven't seen him. He's done it with
Antonio
Juju.
Holmes.
He's done it with Antonio Brown. He's done it with, he's done it with Vance McDonald. He's done it with tight ends. Like,
No, he doesn't. He doesn't
Heath
throw him
Miller
open.
for years. Like, he does.
He doesn't
He's-
throw him open.
in the red zone, absolutely does. They used to throw the ball, just jump ball after jump ball in the red zone. It was like almost as a Le'Veon Bell owner. I was like, what the? Can you just run it one time? They love throwing it in the red zone, and there's nobody more dangerous than Moncrief on this team, in my opinion. But I am worried about, you mentioned Johnson. I mean, he is a smooth route runner. He's a great separator. Like, if he does what he did in college and that's translating, if camp reports start emerging that this guy's dominating like he was in college, I'll be certainly a little more nervous. He makes me a lot more nervous than James Washington does as well. But to me, right now, it seems very clear that Moncrief's the number 2, and I think that just comes with so much upside.